Hello student, I am Swarajyam, contract lecturer in ECE GPT Nizamabad. So on completion of this period, you will be able to know or you will be know to understand this the topics what is transistor, how it is formed and the symbols of transistors. So let us recall the topics we discussed in the before going to discuss this one for the topics we discussed in the last lectures. Okay, so we discussed what are the extrinsic semiconductors. So what is extrinsic semiconductors? We are having N-type semiconductor, P-type semiconductors. So extrinsic semiconductor means where the electrons and holes are not equal. So where we are adding the impurities to the pure semiconductor, then extrinsic semiconductor will be formed. So in the extrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons and holes are not equal. But whereas in the intrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons and holes are equal. So these we are discussed the different types of the different differences between the intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors and the types of the extrinsic semiconductor p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor, how the p-type semiconductor is formed. So the majority charge carriers are holes and the conduction is due to the holes only. So the Fermi level is below the energy and the acceptor level is below the acceptor levels, whereas in the n-type semiconductor the majority charge carriers are electrons. So this n-type semiconductor is formed by adding the pentavalent impurities, whereas p-type semiconductor is formed by adding the trivalent impurities. So these trivalent impurities are aluminum, boron, gallium, uh, and whereas the pentavalent impurities are the phosphorus, arsenic and antimony. So the conduction is due to the majority charge carriers is electrons. We discussed these are the topics. What is mean by hole? So the hole is how this hole is created. The movement of electron will be creates the holes. When an energy is this force is applied, so the free electrons moves from the. So what is mean by hole means the hole is created by the movement of electrons. The electron is moved from the one point to the another point, then the hole is created. What is the major difference between p-type and n-type materials? So here the n-type material, n-type semiconductor, a small amount of pentavalent impurities is added, whereas in the p-type semiconductor, the trivalent impurities are added. As in the n-type semiconductor, as the number of electrons is much greater than the number of holes, um, in n-type semiconductor are called the majority carriers. In electrons are called as majority carriers and holes are called as a minority carriers in the n-type semiconductors. In the p-type semiconductor, number of holes is very much greater than the number of electrons. So in the p-type semiconductor, holes are majority carriers and electrons are called minority carriers. So in the n-type semiconductor, the current conduction is due to the electrons, whereas in the p-type, the current conduction is due to the holes. So in the n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level is just below the conduction band, whereas in the p-type semiconductor, the Fermi level is just above the valence band. So an increase in the temperature, it is behaves like as insulator in the n-type semiconductor. An increase in temperature, the p-type semiconductor behaves as insulator. So in n-type semiconductor, free electrons concentration is approximately equal to the density of donor atoms. In the p-type semiconductor, the free hole concentration is approximately equal to the density of acceptor atoms. So these are the comparison of the differences between the p-type and n-type semiconductors we are discuss. So let us discuss the what is transistor, how it is when it is invented and by whom it is invented. So transistor. So the transistor was invented in the year 1947 by John Burden, Dr. Walter Brattain and Shockley at Bell Laboratories in USA. When a third doped element when a third doped element is added to a crystal diode in such a way that the two p-n junctions are formed. So, when a third doped element is formed, added to the crystal diode in such a way that the two p-n junction is formed, the resulting device is known as transistor. It is the invention of the transistor that has brought revolutionary changes in the field of electronics. So, Dr. Burden in the left and Dr. Shockley seated and Dr. Brattain. Transistor is an acronym for transfer of resistors. Transistor is an active device and it is a three layer, two junctions and three terminal semiconductor device. So in the transistor, the conduction take place due to the both majority and minority charge carriers. Hence, the transistor is also known as bipolar junction transistors. So transistor means it is an acronym for the transfer of resistance. That is, it transfer the signal from low resistance to into the high resistance. So that's why we call as a transfer of resistors. Now the transistor became the heart of the many electronic applications and replaced the vacuum tubes. So this transistor is replace the vacuum tubes. So vacuum tube means it occupies a large space and human interference is required and it consumes a large power and its maintenance is more. So that is can be overcome by the invention of the transistor, which is occupies a less space, occupies a less space and minimum power consumptions and no need to uh, take the care of about the operation inventions and it is not required the human interference. So the transistor has several advantages over the vacuum tubes. So the advantages of the transistor, no heater is required, hence no warming time and no heating power, operates at low voltages, physically smaller in size, lighter in weight, have longer life, high efficiency due to the low power consumptions. So these are the advantages of the transistor over the vacuum tubes. So transistor is a semiconductor device made of either the germanium or silicon. So you can be use the any of the type of the semiconductor material to construct the transistor. So basically there are two types of the transistors. One is BJT bipolar junction transistors or field effect transistors. So bipolar junction transistors, here the current conduction is due to the both the majority and minority charge carriers, whereas the field effect transistor and BJT is also known as a current control devices. Why? Because it is the operation or the working of the transistor is can be controlled by the current applied to the base terminals, whereas the field effect transistors is called it as a voltage control device. Why? Because the electric field applied to the gate will be control the entire operation of the field effect transistors. So in the field effect transistor, the current is due to the majority charge carriers. So it is the field effect transistor is also known as unipolar devices. So formation of the transistors, how the transistor will be formed. So we discussed the what is p-n junction diode, how it is formed by the combining of the two dissimilar materials p-type and n-type. Then the p-n junction diode will be formed. So how the current is flowing in the forward bias and reverse bias we discuss. So basically transistor consists of two back-to-back p-n junction diodes manufactured as a single piece of semiconductor crystals. So two p-n junctions are connected two p-n junction diodes are connected back to back. So one crystal is one a single piece of crystal will be created to form the transistor. So here This is how this diode is formed. So this is one PN junction diode, and this one is D1 is the one PN junction diode, and D2 is the one PN junction diode. So those are connected like this, anode cathode, and these are the connected together. So this is the terminal is emitter, and this terminal is the base, and this is the collectors. So transistor is a two junctions and three terminals and three layer devices. So how this will be working, let us discuss. These two junctions give rise to three regions or three terminals, namely emitter, base and collectors. A junction transistor is simply a sandwich of thin layer of one type, either N type or P type of semiconductor between two layers of other type of the semiconductor material. That is, a junction transistor is simply a sandwich of thin layer of one type, either N type or P type of semiconductor material between two layers of other type of semiconductor material. Suppose if you are taking the NPN transistor, so P layer is sandwiched between the two N layers, that is NPN transistor, whereas if you take the PNP transistor, the N layer is sandwiched between the two P type of materials. So that is, we can be called as the transistors are either of PNP or the NPN transistors. So N layer is sandwiched between two P layers, and P layer is sandwiched between the two N layers. So this is the structure we are showing here is a NP, two PN junction diodes are connected back to back. So these P2 layers are connecting together. So like it will be formed like this NPN. So this P layer is sandwiched between these two N layers, and this is the PNP transistors. So in this one, this is the N layer is the sandwiched between the two P layers. So this is we are forming the NPN and PNPN transistors. So here this is a base, this terminal we call as a emitter, base, collector, emitter, base, collector. So these are the symbols of the NPN and PNP transistor. So the direction of this arrow is indicates the direction of the current flow. So this arrow is indicates the outwards indicates the NPN transistors, and inwards is indicates the PNP transistor symbol. So NPN transistor construction, how where it is forming constructing the NPN transistor. So here before going to this one, a thin layer of P-type material sandwiched between the two layers of N-type material. It is an NPN transistor. N plus indicates the heavily doped, and P minus indicates the light doping, and collector is the moderate doping. And the area wise, this is the largest area in the collector, and small area in the base, and moderate area is the emitter. So emitter, the section one side that applies the majority charge carriers is known as emitter. So this emitter emits the majority charge carriers to the base and to the collector. It is always forward bias with respect to the base. So this emitter and base junction is always forward bias. It does not, it is done so that it supplies the large number of majority charge carriers to the base. It is heavily doped than the other these two regions. So this emitter region is heavily doped compared to this base and thin, and it will always emit the majority charge carriers to the base and collector. And next one is the base. So this base, the middle section which forms the two PN junctions. So this is the middle section forms the two PN junctions, with one is the with emitter and another one is the with the collector. So NP junction 1 is junction 1, and PN junction is the junction 2. So it is forms the two junctions, and it is a lightly doped and it is very thin. And the next one is the collector. The section on the other side that collects the majority charge carriers is known as the collectors. So in the name itself, it is indicates the collector means it collects the majority charge carriers. In the emitter, in the name itself, it is emitter means it emits the majority charge carriers. So it is always reverse biased with respect to the base. So collector and base is providing the reverse bias. The collector region is made physically larger than emitter and base because it has to dissipate much power. So the collector area is much larger than base and area. So in the area in terms of area, collector area in terms of area, collector area is more, and next emitter, after last is base. In the doping process, emitter is heavily doped and collector is moderate doping and base is lightly doped. And next one is, so PNP transistor construction. This is also similar to the NPN transistors, only this one is the polarities will be changes. Here it is. A thin layer of N-type material is sandwiched between the two layers of P-type material. It is PNP transistors. The same name itself, its emitter emits the majority charge carriers. So here the majority charge carrier means holes. So this emits the holes, and this will be takes the in the base, it takes the recombinations, and the excess of the majority charge carriers will move to the collector. And this name, it's a collector. It collects the majority charge carriers. The area is also very large compared to the emitter and base, and the base is lightly doped, emitter is heavily doped, and collector is moderately doped. Although the emitter and collectors are made of same materials, their functions cannot be interchanged because they have different physical and electrical properties. So here this NPN transistor or the PNP transistors, these emitter and collectors are made with the same type of the material, that is N-type material. But even though it is made in the same type of materials, we cannot be interchange the emitter to the collector and collector to the emitter, because the electrical properties are different and the physical properties also will be different. But in the fact, we can be interchange the source and gate. So emitter, it is that region of the transistor which emits the majority charge carriers into base region. So this emits the majority charge carriers into the base region. Physical size of emitter is less than collector but more than the base. So the area of the emitter is less than the collector but more than the base. The doping concentration of emitter is more than that of base and collector. So the doping of the emitter is heavily doping compared to the base and collector. And basis, it is the middle region of the transistor. It is very thin and lightly doped as compared to the either emitter or collectors. So base is always lightly doped and thin layer. And the collector, it is that region of the transistor which collects the majority charge carriers emitted by the emitter passing through the base region. It is the region of the transistor which collects the majority charge carriers emitted by the emitter passing through the base region. So whatever the electrons are the majority charge carriers emitted by the emitter, the recombination will be take in the base. The excess of the electrons will be moved towards the collector. That's why it is emitted by the emitter passing through the base to the collector. So collector region is made physically larger than the emitter and base to dissipate the heat generated by the high velocity charge carriers. Physically, the area of the collector region is very large than emitter and base to dissipate the heat generated by high velocity charge carriers. So that is emit the majority charge. Power dissipation is more at the collector. Its doping concentration is greater than base region and less than that of emitter region. So base is the doping is moderate doping, that is more than base and less than that of emitter region. So symbols of transistors. So this is the symbols of NPN transistor. So this base, collector and emitter, and this indicates the direction of current flow. And this is indicates the PNP transistor. The same names of the terminals, base, emitter, collector, and this direction of the arrow is indicates the PNP transistors. Description of the symbols of transistors. The PN junction between emitter and base is called emitter junction, and the junction between the base and collector is called the collector junction. So this junction base to be emitter junction we called where it is equal from this thing you can be understand. So this emitter to base, that junction we called as a emitter junction JE, we can call it as a JE, and collector to base junction we call as a collector junction JC. So this bases will be form the two junctions with respect to emitter and collector. So this between emitter and base called emitter junction, and the junction between base and collector is called the collector junction. The two inclined lines represents the emitter E and collector C, and the other line represents the base. So these are the three terminals that are represented in the symbol. Emitter is distinguished from the collector by narrow head. So here this emitter is differentiated by the collector by the by an arrow head. Arrow head and emitter represents the direction of the conventional current. So here we are showing the direction of the conventional current only. In PNP transistor, arrow points towards the base, meaning that the emitter is positive potential with respect to the base. So here that is emitter is positive potential with respect to the base. In NPN transistor, arrow points from base to emitter, meaning that the base and collector as well as is at positive potential with respect to the emitter. Here base is at positive with respect to the emitter. So here we are saying that is a base emitter junction is always forward bias and collector junction is always reverse bias. So depending on that one, the characteristics of the transistor will be changes in the whenever this base emitter is applied, that is input characteristics, and collector to base junction we call it as a output characteristics. So these are the different types of the transistors we are using. So three terminals we are using, here it is. These are the different visuals of this few transistors. So these are the topics we are discuss in today's. So let us discuss the comparison differences between emitter, base and collector. So in the emitter, the section on one side that injects the majority charge carriers is known as emitter. In the base, the middle section which forms the two PN junctions between emitter and collector is known as base. So the middle section which forms the two PN junctions between emitter and collector is known as base. In the collector, the section on the other side that collects the majority charge carriers is known as collector. So here the emitter emits the majority charge carriers and the collector collects the majority charge carriers. So in the base, it forms the two junctions with respect to emitter one and with respect to the collector. The emitter is always forward biased with respect to the base. So emitter to base is always we have to provide the forward bias. The base emitter junction is forward biased, allowing low resistance for the emitter current. So whenever you are providing the base to emitter is a forward bias, it provides the low resistance for the forward bias. The base collector junction is reverse bias and provides the high resistance for the collector. for the collector circuits. That is, for the output circuits we are having the high resistance, for the input circuits we are having the low resistance. So collector is always reverse bias with respect to the base. So collector is always in the reverse bias with respect to base. And in the emitter, the resistance in the collector, this is in the base. For this one is the base collector junction is reverse bias and provides the high resistance in the collector circuit. And emitter, it is heavily doped than the other two regions. So emitter is heavily doped compared to base and collector, and base is lightly doped and collector is moderately doped. Here in the emitter, it can inject majority charge carriers into the base. That means it emits the majority charge carriers and it passes the most of the emitter injected charge carriers to the collector. Why? Because base is lightly doped, means the less charge carriers are there, and the base is the inverse of these two emitter and collectors. Suppose if you are taking the NPN, in the bases we are having the p type, and n9 emitter and collectors we are having the majority charge carriers are electrons, and in the base majority charge carriers are holes, but it is lightly doped, so less number of majority charge carriers will be present. So whenever the emitter emits the majority charge carriers, that electrons, so these electrons will be takes the recombinations with the holes, but only less numbers. So the remaining number of electrons will be moved to the collectors. That means it will collect by the collectors. So it passes the most of the emitter injected charge carriers to the collector because of the lightly doped. There is no recombination for this majority charge carriers. So it collects the majority charge carriers. Its region is larger than the base but less than the collector. It is very thin. And the collector region is made physically larger than emitter and base. So base is very thin layer, collector is very large area, and base is moderate. So these are the topics we are covered. What are the topics we are is covered? Transistor is a semiconductor active device. So it is also a diode. We are forming with the two PN junction diodes. Two PN back to back PN junction diodes. So PN junction is an active device. So it is also an active device. Transistor is are made of either the germanium or the silica. And transistor is a three layer, two junction, three terminal device. Three layers NPN are the PNPN. P layer, N layer, P layer, PNP are the NPN, N layer, P layer, N layer. Three layers. Two junctions, base to emitter and base to collector. So NPN, if you consider the NPN, N to P one junction and P to N another junction. So it is two junctions. And three terminal device, emitter, base, collector. Transistors are either of PNP or the NPN transistors. PNP is the complement of NPN transistors. So whatever construction and working is similar to this NPN transistor, only the polarities and will be changes. The direction of current will be changes. So let us discuss a simple question, quiz on this transistors. Transistor is an dash device, active device. Emitter is dash dope and has dash area. Emitter, the doping of emitter is compared to base and collector is heavily doped and has dash area. So compared to the area, more than area and less than collector. So here it is emitter is heavily doped and has moderate area. That is, the doping of emitter is heavily doped and compared to the area, compared to base and collector, it is in middle of this base and collector. So collector is heavily doped and base is lightly doped, then it is a moderate doping, moderate area, heavily doped. Base is lightly doped. Base is dash and dash doped. Base is thin. The area is very thin and it is lightly doped. Base is thin and it is lightly doped. And collector is in area. Collector is dash in area, large in area and is dash doped. It is doping is moderate doping. Large and moderately doped. Arrowhead on emitter points the direction of arrowhead on emitter points the direction of conventional current. That is the direction of the current it will be shows. If it is inwards towards the base, then it is PNP transistors. It is out from the base to the emitter. That is from the outwards. Then it is indicates the NPN transistor. Direction of that one is transistor. That is indicates the direction of conventional current. So the frequently asked questions on this one is, what is transistor? Transistor means it is the transfer of resistance which transfer the resistance from low resistance to the high resistance. And it is a three layers, two junctions and three terminal devices. And explain how transistor is formed. This transistor is formed by combining the two PN junctions back to back. So these two PN junctions combined, that is sandwiching the one layer between the other two layers. Then transistor will be formed. So this NPN, these are the two types, NPN and PNPN. In the NPN, P layer is sandwiched in between the two N layers. The PNPN, PNP, N layer is sandwiched between the two P layers. And these two forms the, these three layers forms the two junctions J1, J2. So this J1 is due to the base to collect emitter and J2 is base to the collector to base. So this base to emitter junction we called as a emitter junction and base to collector junction we can be call it as a collector junction. And this emitter having the three terminals, emitter, base, collector. So this emitter emits the majority charge carriers and base is lightly doped and thin layer and collector is a large area and moderate doping. Draw the symbols of transistors. This is very important. Let us discuss some more questions on this one. The number of depletion layers in a transistor is, we're having the four options 4, 3, 1, 2. So the number of depletion layers in a transistor is, depletion layers means in the well we discussed in the PN junction that P and N layers are formed together. One two PN junctions between the two PN layers, one junction is formed that we call as a depletion layer. So we have three layers are combining here together. Two junctions are formed. So these two junctions are the two depletion layers will be formed. So the option is fourth one. The number of depletion layers in a transistor is out of 4, 3, 1, 2. So the option is 2. In a PNP transistor, in a PNP transistor, the current carriers are PNP transistors. The current carriers are acceptor ions, donor ions, free electrons, holes. These acceptor ions and donor ions are we are using to add the impurity atoms to the transistors.